There's an invoice. We were very clear that everyone has to wear African outfits. I just want to thank you all. You look very, very, very smart indeed. So at this juncture, let me hand over to Mr. Rumba. Mr. Rumba will then call upon the Libyan delegation to make their speech. Thank you.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. I am extremely delighted to see that in Uganda and in Africa we have started coming together, not to dance and not to, there are things that I see people watching. No, now we gather together to talk really sense. So I can see that there is a contribution that we are making. I will begin by first thanking our chief guest, the first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister in charge of East African Affairs, the Right Honorable Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga. Now, for you non-Ugandans and those who have not been following the Ugandan politics, not politics, politics, Right Honorable Alitwala Rebecca Kadaga is one of those speakers you can stand and say, she did her job. Yes. That way. Let me also take the opportunity to recognize a huge opportunity that has been given, that has been bestowed upon when a Libyan delegation accepted our invitation. They chartered them, they got a plane, paid their tickets, paid their hotel rooms, paid their food, and they are right here. You see, their names are a bit complicated. Let me try. But you forgive me, we made a deal since yesterday. Isn't it? You forgive me. His Excellency Abdusalam Elgi is the Director, Department of African Affairs. The Ambassador Abdusalam, if you could stand up kindly for recognition. From Libya, and the delegation he led also consists of Mr. Muhammad N.O. Al-Kart. Mr. Muhammad is in charge of East African Affairs. So they sent us the right people. Not the one in charge of America, they sent them to Uganda. They sent us the one in charge of our issues. They sent them so that we can have some issues solved. I want to thank you very much for accepting our invitation. Let me also take the honor to recognize the Ambassador of Venezuela. Her Excellency, her name is also my problem. Fernandez, the Ambassador of Venezuela, I also want to thank you for coming. I also have the ambassador, a very good friend of mine for now 2 years, I think. And the friendship is stronger than 10 years. The ambassador of Algeria. I now call him Comrade. Comrade Amran, thank you for accepting our invitation. The ambassador of Sarahawi, I brought him, yeah. Thank you for coming also, the ambassador of Sarahawi. I also would like to appreciate every other year when I invite him. He's one of the few guests who actually do not ask you for a return ticket. When you say, I want you to come to Kampala, he says when and what is the purpose. If the purpose is African, he will come. Bishop Joshua Mapong. Okay. The other one is Ayoki Mati from USA, Washington DC. I think he has excused himself. This guy, ladies and gentlemen, in this struggle, there are many things that we go through, but people don't actually realize. There are some people who think we are making money, when they are not even giving it to us, but they think you are making. First give it to me, then accuse me. Our agenda is completely different. It's not about money. No. There is a reason why a white man wants you to be called Andrew, not Irungu. Who paid him? Did you? So there is a reason. Professor Ojwang Jeremiah from Nairobi, Kenya. I had invited him last year. He, of course, at his age, you have to forgive him. Today can be okay, tomorrow he tells you I'm not okay. What are you going to do? You postpone the event. So I have been waiting for him since last August 30th. He has made the year today. He has answered the invitation today. Comrade Gershom Ambunya Okonda, again from Nairobi, Kenya. There is a reason why we have two Kenyans here and seated next to each other. There is a reason. I think there is Kimathi inside there. Let me also recognize my brother, my friend, the Deputy RCC for Poto, the Honorable Nesta Larry. Thank you so much. Of course, all of you are my friends. I may not recognize each one of you, but kindly accept my appreciation for your presence. The presence of how is it called? The charger, the affairs, the charge, this is French, but this is South Africa. Why can't you tell me you are standing in for the charge, the affairs? You're confusing. You're confusing. My brother, when the ambassador of South Africa is not yet appointed, he's in charge. So when you want a visa, you go to him. And his first secretary, Mr. Ibn Williams. Thank you for coming. And Prince Wasadza, you're also welcome. Thank you so much for always accepting our invitation. And so I am being advised that before I speak, it is only fair that I ask the Libyan delegation to come and make their presentation, and then I come after and make my speech. And who am I to disobey an order from the organizers of the event? So without further ado, I will request you to come and make your speech.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يطيب لي في البداية أوجه الشكر لحفاوة الاستقبال وكرم الضيافة التي قوبلنا بها من قبل منظمة بان أفريقيا.
Thank you very much for the warm welcome and the generous hospitality that we find here through the Pan-African.
وجه التحية للسيد نائب رئيس الحكومة ووزير شرق أفريقيا شؤون شرق أفريقيا بحضورها لهذا التجمع الأفريقي.
Our compliment to Minister of East African Affairs, Madame Rebecca Karaga, for being here with us.
نظرا أن كلمتي جاءت في النهاية أود أن أختصر الكلمة لأن يبدو أن الملل بدأ يصيب البعض.
I'd like to be very precise in my word.
أريد أن أشير فقط إلى نقطتين. النقطة الأولى لها صلة بما تناول عدد من الباحثين والمتحدثين الأكاديميين حول مشكلة الثقافة الأفريقية.
I'd like to point to 2 points here. What my scholars before they have said about the African culture.
وأود الإشارة إلى أن وزارة الخارجية والتعاون الدولي في الحكومة الليبية اقترحت على مفوضية الاتحاد الأفريقي إنشاء منظمة أفريقية للتربية والعلوم والثقافة شأنها شأن اليونسكو لكن تختص بأفريقيا فقط، وهذا مشابه لما فعل المؤتمر الإسلامي بإنشاء منظمة على مستوى الدول الإسلامية تعرف بمنظمة الأسيسكو.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Libya has already decided that, or has a proposal that we also form an organization, the same like the European one, concerning Africa.
It is not the European one, it is an international one, UNESCO. There is another one, Cisco, for the Islamic countries. And no time we must have the same organization for the Africa. الواحدة والأخرى مذكرة أخرى أحيلت إلى كل وزارات الخارجية في الدول الأفريقية تقترح فيها ليبيا فتح قنصليات لهذه الدول في بنغازي، مقر الحكومة الليبية في بنغازي.
Yeah, the second proposal, we have already given a memo to all African countries to open a consulate in Benghazi, government of Libya there.
المنظمة الأفريقية للثقافة والآداب والعلوم اقترحنا أن يكون مكانها بنغازي، والحكومة الليبية على استعداد تام لدافع كافة المصاريف والتكاليف، المقر وسكن أعضاء ممثلين الدول وتسهيل سكن الأعضاء البعثات الأفريقية لهذه المنظمة في بنغازي.
The culture organization should be at Benghazi, and the government will be taking care of all expenses, all the facilitation of that conference.
فنرجو من الدول التي ليس لديها قنصليات في بنغازي من الدول الأفريقية، ثمة العديد من الدول الأفريقية لديها قنصليات، منها تونس والمغرب ومصر وتشاد والنيجر الآن قابلت، ونتوقع أن بوركينا فاسو سنستلم ردها في خلال اليومين القادمين.
Many African countries have already has its own consulate there, including of Egypt, Tunisia, Sudan, and we're waiting for Burkina Faso to also to submit it there.
ثم أختم بالقول أننا مكلفون من الحكومة الليبية وزارة الخارجية والتعاون الدولي لتقديم دروع شكر وتقدير لمجهودات عدد من السادة الذين كان لهم دور كبير في دعم التعاون الأفريقي وتقدم الوحدة الأفريقية بخطوات ثابتة، الخطوات التي تتبع خطوات الآباء المؤسسين من نكروما إلى جمال عبد الناصر إلى القذافي إلى الآخرين بدون تعديل.
We also having shields from the government of Libya to be presented to those who have played a big role in Africa and cooperation together also in Libya also.
في البداية لدينا درع السيدة رئيس مجلس النواب رئيس البرلمان في أوغندا هي ليست موجودة، لكن إذا كان في حد رسميا يستلمها نسلمها له.
Yeah, we have the first one is for the Speaker of the Parliament, and unfortunately she is not here, but if any person can come and get on her behalf. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
الثانية مقدمة السيدة نائب رئيس الوزراء في أوغندا ووزير شرق أفريقيا.
The second one is for Minister of East African Affairs, Madame Rebecca Kadak.
الأخير نقدم السيد أندرو رئيس منظمة.
And the last one for Mr. Andrew, the chairman of the panel.
Thank you so much, our elders from Libya. Thank you so much. We appreciate for your kind hearts. Your Excellency, our chief guest, the Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, the first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister in charge of East African Affairs, Your Excellencies, the ambassadors of different countries that are represented here, distinguished Pan-Africans, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great honor and profound gratitude to welcome you to this year's Pan-African Premier Global Awards. Tonight, we gather not merely to celebrate individuals, but celebrate an idea, a vision, and the destiny of Africa. Our theme is not just a slogan, it is a clarion call. It is a clarion call. One Africa, one passport. Visa-free Africa, one currency, and one army safeguarding our borders. In other words, all these 54 armies of Africa inside the boundaries, inside actually, not the boundaries of Africa. All of them need to be constituted into one army, stand at the borders, and guard us against any enemy that comes to take our resources. But most of our armies are guarding themselves against us, the citizens. So you wonder. This vision is not new. It was the dream of Kwame Nkrumah, who reminded us that the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked with the total liberation of Africa. It was the lifelong pursuit of Julius Kambarage Nyerere, who said, without unity, there is no future for Africa. It was the fiery conviction of Patrice Lumumba, who declared that the day will come when history will speak. Africa will write its own history, and it will be history of glory and dignity. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, today Africa is the richest continent on earth in terms of natural wealth. Yet, our people remain the poorest. Why? Because our wealth is divided. Our strength is fragmented, and our borders are artificial scars of colonialism. The Berlin Conference cut us apart. It is now time for the Kampala Declaration and beyond to stitch us back together. A single passport that allows every African child to walk freely across this continent, from Cape Town, from Lagos to Addis Ababa. A single currency that liberates us from dependence on foreign valuations. A visa-free Africa where brother doesn't need permission to embrace brother. A continental army that ensures our resources are never looted again and our sovereignty never compromised. Africa has the youngest population in the world. This is not a burden, it is a gift. A vast ocean of energy waiting to be harnessed. But unless we unite, that energy will continue to serve foreign interests instead of African renaissance. The youth must rise as the vanguard of Pan-Africanism, just as Thomas Sankara did when he said, we must dare to invent the future. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we honor Pan-Africanists who have carried this flame, who have refused to betray Africa's destiny. These awards are not medals of vanity, they are torches of responsibility. To those who receive them, remember you are being called to duty. Let me end with words of Marcus Garvey, the father of Pan-African consciousness. The black skin is not a badge of shame, but rather a glorious symbol of national greatness. From this night forward, let us recommit ourselves to one Africa. Let us march beyond borders, beyond currencies, beyond divisions. Let us build the United States of Africa, not tomorrow, not someday, but beginning right now. Long live Africa, long live Pan-Africanism, long live our leaders of Africa. Now, ladies and gentlemen, they sat in Berlin in a conference just like this one. We were not there. They sat and simply petitioned our continent. That's what they did. But the question is, what magic do they have that we don't? If they manage to sit and divide us, what's the problem with us sitting and connect ourselves again? What's the problem? I think the problem has been the 54 African presidents. There is no African president whom you come here and tell, please, you have come here at Fair Hotel as the president of a certain country called Burundi. We want you to go back as a chief of that kingdom. You leave the meeting. Now that's the problem. That the people we think are working for us are actually working against us. I was talking about the visa issue. My elder, Joshua Maponga, I was with him in Zimbabwe, in Burkina Faso last year. Is it? Imagine people invited by the head of state. But what we found at the airport is something that somehow needs some urgent attention. And that's just one country. But this is true to all the 54. Abadangamba ina milioni 10 na ye nazazi ila bindi waka. So what I was saying is that we are 1.4 billion Africans. Then there are these 54, just 54. 54 are the ones managing us, 1.2 billion. And all of you are simply following. You are like sheep. So we are saying we must stop following them and they instead follow us. That's what we are saying. And this is the declaration that we are making today. And I want to thank you, Professor Julian. Your candid presentation. You spoke out my words. Now I don't even know what to speak. You spoke my mind, you spoke my word, you spoke my spirit. Thank you so much, Professor Julian. So I want to make this declaration. After making this declaration, here, if you're not fearful, if you're bold enough, I want the camera people to capture this. Now, it easy. If you are fearful, please don't say here.
Don't be scared.
This is the declaration to go back to what we used to be. You're going to put here your name, passport ID, let us leave it for the meantime. But you can put your telephone number and your email. Yeah, this one. When you send this, it means you agree with us that Africa should be one. So I'm going to make a proclamation of this Kampala Declaration. And then I will be the first to sign. And if the chief guest, the Right Honorable Alitwara Kadaga, also agrees that we need to unite, she should also come and celebrate after me. The Kampala Declaration for United States of Africa, adopted at the 8th Pan-African Pyramid Global Awards 2025 and 11th Anniversary Dinner at Kampala, Uganda, dated August 30th, 2025. We, the sons and daughters of Africa, gathered in Kampala, Uganda, not in America, we're in Kampala, in the spirit of Pan-Africanism, send revolutionary greetings to our brothers and sisters across the continent and the diaspora. Guided by the timeless Nguni wisdom, Umuntu, Ngumuntu, Ngabantu, I am because we are. We reaffirm our collective destiny as Africans, united in struggle, bound by shared history, and propelled by the vision of one sovereign and indivisible continent, Africa. This Kampala Declaration is both a covenant and a clarion call, a pledge to resist all forces of imperialism, neo-colonialism, and external domination, and a vow to defend the dignity, sovereignty, and prosperity of Africa. We draw strength from eternal legacies of Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, Julius Kambarage Nyerere, Thomas Sankara, Muammar Gaddafi, Nelson Mandela, and I can't say Nelson Mandela without mentioning Winnie Mandela, Amilcar Cabral, Steve Biko, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Giants whose sacrifices continue to lay the path towards total liberation. Their blood and vision remind us that our struggle is far from over, and that the United States of Africa is not a dream, but an urgent necessity. Under the banner of One Africa, One Passport, we declare that the time has come for one continental passport, enabling all Africans, both on the continent and in the diaspora, to travel freely across our land without artificial borders. A visa-free Africa, restoring natural unity of our people. One African currency, to liberate our economies from foreign manipulation and to strengthen intra-African trade. A continental standby force to safeguard African sovereignty, defend our territorial integrity, and ensure peace and security without external interference. An African continental government, the United States of Africa, embodying the dreams of our ancestors and the aspirations of our children. We, the Pan-African family, solemnly commit ourselves to awakening African consciousness, promoting unity of purpose, identity, and destiny among Africans on the continent and the diaspora, defending our leaders and liberation ideals, standing firm with leaders who champion African pride, independence, self-determination, and resistance to foreign domination, fostering innovation and self-reliance, harnessing the creativity, inventions, and resources of our people to build a prosperous and self-sufficient continent, solidarity and protection, ensuring that no African stands alone in the struggle for justice, dignity, and freedom. African leaders did this to Gaddafi. After he died, now they are regretting why he was killed. We proclaim with one voice, Africa shall be free, Africa shall be united, Africa shall rise to claim her rightful place in the world. This is our solemn vow. This is our Kampala Declaration. This is our Kampala Declaration, and there will be a very huge book for you here to sign and put in your particulars. If you put in your particulars, it means you agree to a united Africa. And with those few words, I would like to thank you. I would like to thank you for accepting our invitation. Thank you for being good people who actually can sit here and listen to the African message. I've been advised that I should call the chief guest because I'm told she has another segment. Am I correct? So I've been asked to invite the Right Honorable Rebecca Ritwala Kadaga, our chief guest, and also the first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister in charge of East African Affairs. It's my pleasure, Right Honorable Ritwala Kadaga, to come and talk to people. Right Honorable Speaker, as you come, I want to request one thing, that Pan-African organizations, I see, you're not one of them, Right Honorable Speaker, but I see the current parliament, they have now petitioned a lot of money to political parties. Go and confuse people. Instead of giving that money to political parties, you can even give a fraction of that money to Pan-African organizations. That's what we need. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, High Commissioners and Ambassadors present, distinguished guests, academicians, and the panelists, it's a pleasure to be here today. Thank you indeed for the invitation. But it's very exciting to see that you are gathered here to speak to reclaiming our heritage, our culture, our languages, and our dressing. Now, what Mr. Rumba said, I think General Tafir will be very excited, and I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you about it to see how we can build a strategy to ensure that funds go to the Pan-African organizations. They should not be limping as they are. But indeed, thank you so much, all the presenters. Everything you said is very, very exciting. Just wanted to report that, of course, the dream of the United States of Africa has been around for a long time, but it's remained in the air. Our leaders thought we should go by regional blocks. The blocks are there, but they remain blocks in their area. They've not come together in any other form. So I think you're right. This move may reignite that intention and see that our people are refocused. I was listening about the African passport. I was wondering who actually issues that passport. Where do you apply? What are the qualifications for accessing it? I think it also remains in the air. Sometime back, I'd gone to attend the PLP in Pretoria. So one of the officials of the Pan-African Parliament from Nigeria attempted to fly into Johannesburg with that passport. He was taken back. He was told, don't recognize this. But he was flying to the headquarters of the Pan-African Parliament, the headquarters of the people of Africa, apart from Addis Ababa. So I think we need to find ways of ensuring that this actualized. When I arrived, I heard about the Bamasaba Kingdom between Kenya and Uganda, but we also have the Morimoro. The Morimoro of Uganda is the same Morimoro of Kenya, the king of the Itesos. And he's acknowledged here and acknowledged there as well. So we need to build on that. I did not know that the Inzu Masaba has disappeared. Someone said the Inzu something has happened to it. But we shall find out. We shall find out. However, in my ministry, we have been making some efforts to bring together our people, starting with our peace caravan between the Karimujong, between the Turkanas, the Pokots, and the Maasais, the East African community. We've had 2 caravans, one from Uganda to Lodwar, and then to Kajiado, via Namanga. And then another one we assembled in Moroto with the Tepes, the Didinga. I was shocked to hear that they are all speaking the same language. All of them were speaking the same language. It was very, very interesting. They were completely at peace with one another. Last April, we had the big meeting of the Atake of East Africa, including the Ethiopians. They were here in Soroti for a 3-day meeting. So the people are pushing the government to do something. On the 2nd of January this year, I went with the head of state to Kisumu. There was a big meeting of the Luos of Africa. Massive, from Central African Republic, from all over the continent. So the efforts are there, but I think we need to actualize them, not just have ceremonies where things end. So I think we need to push in more energy along those lines. Now, I was sitting there with Professor Ojwang, and he showed me a document concerning indigenous knowledge within the East African community. So I want now to write the Secretary General of the EAC to see how we can activate it. Because the document is there, but we hardly speak about it. And I was asking Honorable Mbide, who was just been through Yala, whether there is a committee that deals with indigenous knowledge. And he said no, but we might put it to the committee on legal affairs. So we shall follow it up to see that it's actualized, because it is our role to ensure that we actualize the aspirations of the people of East Africa. Of course, the issue of the visas is a scandal, the international scandal on this continent, because the foreigners can come here and just enter our countries. A few months ago, Mr. Dangote, the richest man on this continent, was telling us that he needs 35 visas just within Africa. Despite all his wealth, the doors are not open. So for whom are the doors opening? They're not open for anybody. So it's against the matter we need to drum up to ensure that things happen and it becomes real for our people. But if it was not for the immigration officials, the African people are just move on their own. They do their business. You find that the biggest businesswomen on this people on this continent are the African women, from one country to another, just making up their money. So we need to unlock the boundaries to ensure that things are working. So I'm very, very happy to be here. I'll sign the declaration because it resonates with the intention of our forefathers, so that they wake up to realize that there's something that has not yet been completed, and we owe a duty to the African people to ensure that the United States of Africa becomes a reality. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. And thank you for the presentation.
So, Right Honorable Rebecca Kadad is going to be the first one to sign the declaration. Where is it? Yes.
Gentlemen of the press, once you've got the photos, we're going to ask for a bit of leeway so we can have some live coverage from the cameras that are behind us, please. Those of you who are in the front, if you've taken your pictures, please move aside so that the cameras in the back can also capture the event, please. Kindly ask you to make way.
I'll be the second to sign. Then, with the second sign, then I take it from there.
Yeah, this signing is not for the faint of heart. It's for the strong men and women of Africa. This day, people will remember that we sat at Fairway Boutique Hotel and courageous men and women penned their signatures to the declaration for a united Africa. Mr. Rumba will tell us where that document will be going. Hopefully not to NATO, but to African Union. Once the high table has finished with the signing of the declaration, we're going to ask for a group photograph over here, right in front there, with the declaration. In that juncture, once that group photograph is done, I'm going to ask for Mr. Ayo to also have his opportunity on the podium. But we're waiting for the declaration to be signed. Then our chief guest, the Right Honorable Kadaga, will go right into the center there, accompanied by those who are at the high table for a group photograph. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, kindly get yourselves ready in position as we prepare for that group photograph. Don't worry if you're at the back, the book for declaration signing will reach you. to have 3 group photographs. Our chief guest will be in the middle, accompanied by those in the high table first. Then after that, we'll have the ambassadors with the chief guest. And then thereafter, we shall have some of our key partners for the Pan-African Pyramid. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being really our distinguished guests. So at this juncture, I know Bishop Maponga is signing. Today is the 30th of August. It's going, oh? And we're signing. And you see the same way that those gentlemen sat in Belgium and divided us. We want this to be noticed and mentioned that today we signed. So if you're courageous enough, if you believe in one people and one Africa, that signing is for you. And Mr. Irumba told us that he will let us know where he's sending the declaration. He will let us know. Mr. Irumba, if you can kindly lead our chief guest here to the center, alongside all those who are on the high table, please. After three, the first group photograph. Okay. 1, 2, 3. This is the first photograph. 1, 2, 3. This is the second photograph. 1, 2, 3. This is the third photograph. I'm going to kindly ask for the chief guest to remain standing. I'm going to ask Mr. Irumba to remain standing. I'm going to ask Bishop Maponga to remain standing, please, there. The rest can kindly move off the stage. Okay, can we have the delegation from Libya, please, for their group photograph? The delegation from Libya first, alone. Yes. The Libyan delegation. Thank you very much. The count of 3, thank you very much. I'm going to kindly ask our chief guest to remain standing, Mr. Irumba to remain standing, Bishop Maponga to remain standing there, please. I'm going to ask for the ambassadors, please. Her Excellency from Venezuela, Mrs. Fernandez, His Excellency Ambassador of Algeria, His Excellency Ambassador from Sahrawi Republic, and the delegation from South Africa, please. Please, Mr. Ruma, can we kindly get into the picture? This is the third photo. Thank you very, very much. Our last photo, our chief guest, thank you so much. I'm going to ask you to remain standing there. Bishop Maponga, Mr. Rumba. This is our final photograph. I'm going to ask for the key partners of the Pan-African Pyramid to kindly be on the stage, please. Key partners only, please. Our partners, if you know your key partner and has been behind ensuring the success of this evening, kindly come on the stage, please. And be courageous enough to own the declaration. Philosopher, please, if you can come quickly. This is our last.
Jane, I'm sorry. Philosopher Kasuku, where is Tukumi Kitchen? He's a panelist on my Pan-African show. Honorable Minister, please come. Dr. Siraji, Doctor, please come. Princess of Zambia, come. The Prince of Zambia.
One, two, three. That's our first photograph of the last photograph. 1, 2, 3. That's our final photograph. Thank you so much. Our chief guest, thank you so much.
There's a group of Rastafari. Where are they? Rastafari. Rastafari. Jane, then they give them one for you. Rastafari.